Welcome to Nina Cucina. Today I am making my coconut mango panna cotta. This is a light, creamy, and believe it or not, low-calorie dessert that you're just going to love. It only has 154 calories and it even has 18% of your vitamin C for the day and about 5% of your iron. Now, panna cotta is an Italian custard, usually made with milk. But we're going to make it dairy-free today and make it with coconut milk. Now, the difference between a panna cotta and a regular custard is that a panna cotta is made with gelatin and a regular custard is made with eggs and cream. So we're going to make it with our coconut milk. Let me tell you what's going on here on my work surface, and we can put it together lickety-split. It's fast and it's easy. I've got here some low-fat coconut milk, about 3.5 cups. And you could use whole coconut milk if you chose. I did it simply for calorie count. I've got a couple of limes squeezed here, and I've got some beautiful fresh mango cubed. Now, I've got a how-to video on how to pit a mango, so you can see how that's done right on the site. It's very, very simple. I've got a little stevia, and I've got a couple of tablespoons of coconut extract just to punch up that coconut flavor. And I have some gelatin. This is about 3 packets of gelatin. So we're going to pour this all into the blender and whip it together. It's simple. Now I'm going to make a beautiful, yummy, sweet glaze to go with it. Using one puree of mango here. Just pureed it right up in my food processor. A little bit more lime juice and just some water to get that nice, perfect consistency. And then we're going to sprinkle the top of our panna cotta with some beautiful grated coconut. And this is organic, dried coconut, unsweetened. Don't get the sweetened kind. It always has corn syrup. Not good for the body. All right, let's put this together. It is super easy. So we're going to start with the coconut milk. And lime juice, our stevia. Now it's this simple. There goes the coconut extract and the gelatin. Now you could actually mix this up in a bowl, but I've found that putting it in the blender is just a lot easier. That way you don't have to work so hard whipping the lumps out of your gelatin. Now that I've got that perfectly mixed, I'm going to do one small thing before we go over to the stove and I heat it up so I can melt my gelatin into that. I'm just going to take these gorgeous mango cubes and we are going to just dump them right into a parchment-lined pan. Now I am using silicone here. Silicone is my favorite non-stick because it's very safe at high temperatures. And it is really, truly non-stick. Unlike most of the non-stick cake pans that you buy out there, which end up having cake sticking to them. And also when you cut into a non-stick pan, you always scratch it and you ruin the pan. So what I'm doing here is I am spreading out these little cubes. They don't have to be perfect because once we pour in our panna cotta mixture, they will begin to float around a little bit. No stress, that's what they're supposed to do. Just kind of spread them around the pan. Now our pan is ready and we're going to go over to the stove and just heat up our coconut milk. Now it's really simple. I'm just going to pour this coconut milk mixture right into my pan and I'm going to just turn it on about medium heat and you're just going to give it a little stir. You don't even have to boil this. All you want to do is melt those gelatin granules so they're all through the coconut milks just to ensure even gelling. Now this is really hot, this mixture, so just to give me a little bit more control with the heavy pan, I'm going to pour it right back into my measuring cup. You can see that steam coming off of it. Oh, the aroma is just tantalizing. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to very slowly pour this into my form, and I'm just going to move around a little bit just to make it pour evenly. And the only reason I do this is so that my little chunks of mango don't get freaked out and start moving all over the place. You don't want it splattering all over you, because it really is steaming. There we go. Oh, it's almost like a pina colada. It's really great. There we go. Now, I'm just going to pop this into the freezer. You have two choices here. You can put it in your refrigerator for about 4 hours or even overnight. You can make this ahead. It's a great make-ahead dessert for a dinner party, that's for sure. People love it. But I am short on time today, so I'm going to pop it into the freezer. It takes about 30, 40 minutes, depending on how cold your freezer is, to coagulate. And then you can serve it right away to your guests. So just going to pop it in the freezer. Then we can start making our glaze. Now that I've got the panna cotta in the freezer, let me show you how easy this glaze is to make. We're just going to throw everything right into the blender again. I've got some yummy puree of mango. Let's get every little bit out there. Some lime juice. Just some good old water, about 1/4 cup. And just a little bit of stevia. Now, I have brought down the glycemic index of this dish really well by using stevia instead of using any other kind of sweetener. This dish is very low glycemic. In fact, it has a glycemic load of about 9, which is nothing. And for a dessert, that's absolutely incredible. Now, I have just pulled this out of the freezer, and it is totally firm. You can see it's wrinkled a little bit at the top. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. That's cool. Don't let it freak you out. What we're going to do is now get it out of our mold. Now, this is silicone, so you can see that it is very flexible, and that makes it all the easier. We're just going to run a regular little kitchen knife right around the edge. Now, I'm pushing back against the side of this silicone mold, and you can even see that the panna cotta is just pulling away from it. Now I'm just going to lay my cake plate right on top of it and flip it over. Let's get rid of this guy, and let's start peeling back. I'm going to move it a little bit to the center. There we go. You can see that the paper came right off with it. Perfect. Now let me just grab my beautiful mango sauce, and we're going to glaze this baby. Now what we're going to do is just give that a pour over. Now you see what's happening here. It's just rolling over the top and of course the sides of the panna cotta. Just like that. Now what I like to do is I like to take this beautiful, big, fat, grated coconut, and I'm just going to sprinkle it along the top just to let everybody know that it's coconut panna cotta. Now that that's done, I think what I'm going to do just as a little piece of decoration is put a little lime slice right in the middle just to let everyone know that there's lime in it too. Just going to take a slice right from the middle, a really thin slice. See how well I can do this. Not too bad. Now I'm just going to cut through one side, one little half, and just give it a little twist and just lay that right in the center just as a little piece of extra decoration. Now doesn't that just look, don't you just want to dive into that plate? I want to dive into that plate. This is a low-calorie, super low glycemic dessert that your guests will go wild over, and your kids will love it, and you won't feel guilty about giving your kids a little treat. Thanks for joining me today at Nina Cucina. I'll see you next time.